Kol hashoneh halachot b'chol yom. Today is the 23rd of the month of Elul, Monday, Bezat Hashem, a week before Rosh Hashanah. We're holding by mitzvah number 443 and 42 are the same, in reference to that you're not allowed to eat maaser sheni with in what's his name, outside of Yerushalayim. And mitzvah number that we're going to be discussing related to the mitzvah 460, 459, and 461 and 62 are related. A person who is misleading Jews to go against Hashem's Torah. All right, so now let's start with mitzvah number 442. Even though 443 is the day's mitzvah, but 442 is giving us more information how to be involved with this. The shiur is what? Nishmad Yecheskel Natanel Ben Arav Avishai Halevi. ואין רפואה שלמה לחיה בת לאה לכל עם ישראל. שלא לאכול מעשר שני של דגן חוץ לירושלים. So we're going to start with that you're not allowed to eat מעשר sheni, which is the fruit, the produce that grows in your land on the second year. It has to be eaten in Yerushalayim. Right? So it's talking specifically over here, we're going to be discussing wheat growth, the 5 grains. As it says over there in Devarim, 12th chapter, 17th pasuk, Lo tuchal lechol b'sharecha ma'asar deganecha, that you're not allowed to eat in your gates, the tenth of the wheats, the tenth, which means the tenth, the maaser of your wheats, the grains that you're growing for food, for bread. הכתוב בבא אחריו יורה עליו שבמעשר שני הוא מדבר. And we're learning that specifically it's talking about the מעשר שני, the second year. שנאמר כי אם לפני השם לוקח תאכלנו. The whole purpose of that mitzvah obviously is that you're supposed to go to Yerushalayim and eat it before Hashem. אתה ובנך ובנך ועבדיך ועבדיך, that relates to you, to your daughter, to your son, to your daughter, and your servants. ואילו שאר מעשרות לעניים או ללוויים הם. The rest of then we have the tenth of the other years. It's either to the Leviim or to the poor people or to the Leviim. If you notice over here something, where's the wife? Just on a side note.
At the bottom.
All right, there is no. She's not mentioned. It's a ata. So if I say ata, it includes you and your wife as one. Okay, maybe we could say. I don't know. But again, it's questioned why your son and your daughter and your servant is pointed out, but your wife is not pointed out. Maybe we'll look into Perushim, but we could say ata means that your wife and you are one. However, if you take a look over there, that when it's talking about, that was very, very interesting, 460s, over there in that area, the mitzvot will be masit. One of the masit is the wife. And over there it says that your wife is masitio. So you'll notice that your wife has been separated. So when it's not in inyan of mitzvah, then there is a discussion of husband and wife, separating the Torah. But maybe when it's in one mitzvah, it's one of you will be including both. Maybe, we'll see. בעניין מעשר שני, מהו? כתבתי למעלה בסדר זה עשה השם, וטעם היותו נאכל בירושלים. כתבתי בסדר, okay, so he says all the rules that are related in reference to the mitzvah of מעשר שני. It's in the mitzvah of 473. And the reason they also describe, it's brought down in the Rishalmi, mitzvah מעשר הבהמה says, okay, בסדר עם מחוקותיי. So all the discussion of the Masrot is on the mitzvah of 360. So the Rabbi just tells us to go there if you want to go deeply into this issue. So what concerns our mitzvah specifically here, it's also Masechta Makot, we'll get there. Masechta Makot, Yud Tet, in the 19th page, Amud Bet is going to discuss this mitzvah, how to fulfill Maaser Sheni, eating it specifically in Yerushalayim. שאין חייבים מלכות על אכילתו, אלא אם כן יאכלו אותו בלי פדיון אחר שראה פני הבית. So again, a person who transgresses the sin, the Rabbi is already telling us that if he eats Maaser Sheni in his house, though not in Yerushalayim, he gets malkut only when he ate it if the grain saw the house, meaning the door of the house. לכן אמרו בסוף מכות, ממתי חייבים עליו מי שיראה פני הבית. And it's explained over there in Masechta Makot that when a person is obligated for eating Maaser Sheni outside Yerushalayim, as soon as when they were brought into the gates of his house. וכבר הרחבתי בדיני הקביעות בחירות למעשר בסדר כך קורח. So it says explained in the different mitzvah. This 395 discusses detail of the masrot that are related that to this in mitzvah. There we should learn. ושם תראינו אם תחפוץ ויתר פרטי המצווה מבוארים במסכת מעשר שני. So there's a מסכת מעשר שני, I guess, משניות, that tells us more in detail how to fulfill this mitzvah. This prohibition is regardless man or woman. If a woman has a field and she wants to eat the Maaser Sheni outside of Yerushalayim, she is also prohibited from doing so. And the man, this is talking about specifically when we have such a concept of Maaser Sheni, when it's obviously the Jewish nation is in Eretz Yisrael. בסדר שופטים מעשה ואב סימן, נאמר בגזירת השם, הזמן המקומות שנוהג שם. ועובר הזה ואכל כזית ממנו חוץ לירושלים, חייב מלכות. Any Jew that eats from Maaser Sheni, that the grains that are supposed to be separated the second year outside Yerushalayim, in the time when it was obligated to be eaten in Yerushalayim, this person gets lashed. Because in here, he did what? He did a Maaser. He ate when he was prohibited from eating outside Yerushalayim. He ate it outside Yerushalayim. So this was mitzvah 442. Today's mitzvah is actually 443. Shelo leichol maaser sheni shel tirosh chutz Yerushalayim. Over there it's telling us that you're not allowed to eat grape wines outside Yerushalayim. Also maaser sheni. And again, everything is the same. Inyan, same, everything in relations. That's why I decided to learn 442, because it was more discussing us, telling us more little bit details. But here, 443, he's just telling you, go look over there, 442, and learn it. So how do you know you're not allowed to eat Maaser Sheni of grape wine outside Yerushalayim? There's a pasuk. The pasuk says, Devarim Yud Bet, 12 chapter, 17 pasuk, Lo tuchal leichol b'sharecha v'tiroshecha. Over there it says that you're not allowed to eat in your gates the grains, and it ends off v'tiroshcha. V'tiroshcha, which means the grape wine, that is also prohibited to be eaten outside Yerushalayim, Maaser Sheni. Okay, all the explanations, same thing. The person who ate it outside Yerushalayim, if he ate kazait, if he ate more than 28 grams or 27 grams, whatever the shiur you hold, and then he will be a hayav malkut. The choira over here, there's a machloket. So let's say the smallest shiur of kazait is 12 grams, 12 to 13 grams, almost 13 grams, right? So that's the smallest shiur. Some say even 9. So the question would be, obviously, do we say that since he's eating it mitzvah isur deoraita outside Yerushalayim, and he ate 9 grams, let's say according to that shita, will he be responsible to get? Will he be lashed? Will he be lashed? Right? There's machloket. What is kazait? Why on Pesach we are makpid to eat karpas very small? Because we don't want to be mechayav macha achrona. So that's why we dip a very small karpas, right? A piece of celery, dip in salt water, and we eat it on by the karpas because we don't want to be chayav bracha achrona, and you don't want to go into safek, so it has to be even less than 9 grams. That's why we take a little small piece. But however, let's say, what would you say if I tell you, what would we do with this person? Do we go likula or we go lechumra? Lechumra would mean what? Lechumra would mean if the guy ate 9 grams of maaser sheni outside Yerushalayim, you should get lashed. Likula would be 27 grams, 28 grams. So that means up to 28 grams, he doesn't get lashed. So what would you say?
How do you want to go?
I don't know. Safek deoraita lechumra, right? Safek deoraita lechumra. So you'll tell me, Rabbi, if 9 grams is according to one shita, kazayid, so lechoira, any Jew who eats about 9 grams of outside Yerushalayim with Maaser Sheni should get lashed. Do we say that or we don't say that? It's a very important question. I would say the other way around. You don't lash him. We would go to lechumra of kazayid, not lechumra of beating him up.
Okay.
We'll go to hold the chumrah. What's the chumrah of kazayit? 28 grams. Are you going to say, no, chumrah over here, it's 9 grams. You're right. Over here, the chumrah for lashing. But I'm talking about, we're going to go, because we're not a Torah. In Torah, we don't go lashing around. Remember, we learned yesterday, the obligation of Chachamim. Why we go to Beit Din? Why can't the Eidim enact the punishment on their own? Because we don't want We don't want to enact punishments. We want to find any heter. So if that's the attitude of Torah, then for sure we're not going to be looking for the smallest kazayit. We'll be looking for the highest kazayit that the person ate outside Yerushalayim. And therefore, that will be my svara. I didn't see it in the books yet, but that will be the svara. I am not what's his name. But it's a question. Do we say safek deoraita lechumra? You hear Rabbi Moshe? Because Azai, you here for a question? You're not ready for a question?
What?
You ready for a question? We're learning right now eating outside Yerushalayim Maaser Sheni Asur.
Yeah.
So now it says if you eat kazayit, you get malkut outside Yerushalayim. The question is, according to some shitot, kazayit is 9 grams. According to other shitot, it's 28 grams, up to 28 grams. So now, what would you say to be mechayev him? To be kazayit? Be mechayev him according to 9 grams, or be mechayev him according to 28 grams? So we say safek leoraita lechumra, and therefore if he ate 9 grams, he'll be mechayev. Or we say safek leoraita lechumra, the chumra of kazayit, not the safek of the shiur, or that he ate, that is the shiur that he has to eat.
There's also a chakal that you don't give malkut for a safek.
What?
There's also a chakal that you don't give malkut for a safek.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, no, that would be
I
nice.
think there is such a chakal.
If that will be that, then you have to wait till 28 grams. I made a swara. It says that I said you're right that because of the safek, but I don't remember. I remember maybe a little bit what you were saying. Maybe it was in the back of my mind. That's why I made a swara. The swara I made was since we are not looking to punish people,
Yeah.
so we're looking for any way to get out of punishment. So if you're here, you're gonna tell me he has to eat 28 grams. That will be the only time that we mechayev him. Yeah, that's the swara I made. But you're saying, Kalal, I heard something. Yeah, it's gonna. I think you're right. It's gonna come in. It's gonna come in Masechet Makot. We're gonna see it. If you want to know Masechet Makot, 5 p.m. in Bnei Sfaradim, for 1 hour, and Sundays 6 p.m. here in Nahar Shalom. Anyway, so let's go to our mitzvah now. So mitzvah today's technically mitzvah is 460. Shelo yilamet hamosit zechut ala masit. A person who was approached by a person who is deviating and trying to pull you away from the Torah. Now, what you should now that you brought him to Beit Din, you should not have any mercy on him. That's mitzvah 460. However, we're going to start from mitzvah 457, 458, 459, and 460 and 461 and 462 are all related. What are they? 457, Shelo le'ehov hamasid. You're not allowed to love anymore the person who is trying to tell you to go against Hashem. He's telling you to go to serve Avodah Zarah. Shalom. That's mitzvah 457. 458. Shelo la'azov hasina min hamasid. You're not allowed to stop hating him. You hear what the guy? The guy is trying to, your wife is trying to guide you, tell you to go against Hashem, or chas v'shalom, anyone in your family, even members, your father, your mother, your parents. They're trying to, whatever does that mean, they're not telling you to be Mechadal Shabbat. We're not talking about that. What are they trying to do? They're not, or chas v'shalom, don't take my words, the wife wants to bring in the internet, or the husband, let's fight a masit. No, we're talking about masit over here specifically, when a person brings to you Avodah Zarah and says to you, this is our new God. This is the God. This is the best thing. I won $1 million because I kissed the toe of this thing. Whatever it is, some crazy stuff. So that's 557. 558, you're not allowed to stop hating him. 559, you're not allowed to save him if he's drowning. This person that trying to misguide you against Torah, against Hashem, basically, you're not allowed to even save him if he's drowning. In mitzvah 460, as we discussed it now, you're not allowed to give any reason for a Beit Din to save him. Mitzvah 461, 461 is actually obligation that he's not allowed to be quiet. If you come to Beit Din, you're not allowed to prevent yourself talking out the whole truth to make sure he gets full punishment. And mitzvah 462, and chas v'shalom, a Jew should misguide another Jew to go on a path of idol worship. God forbid, chas v'shalom. This is the worst thing that a person could do. Is tell his friend, oh, by the way, you know that chachka I have in my house, that is God, and it's protecting me. Chas v'shalom, such a things. So the laws are very intricate in this aspect. Let's just cover 460 and then we'll call it for today. שלא ילמד המוסיד זכות על המסיד, שנשמע המוסיד שלא לטעון דבר של זכות על המסיד. The Torah is preventing the person who was being persuaded to go to Avodah Zarah. He's not allowed to say anything positive about the person who is teaching him, who was trying to take him away from Torah, to go to against idol worship. And that says in the Torah, ואז זה נאמר, in Devarim, 13th chapter, pasuk 9, לא תחמול, have mercy, and our teachers, לא תלמד עליו זכות. You're not allowed to say, you know what, this person did this mitzvah. You know what, I know how many people are saved. This guy did such a big thing. Wow, let's have mercy on the guy. Chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. If the person, two witnesses came and testified what? They testified in the Beit Din. This guy tried to go take us to church, right? And now the Beit Din proved that. It's proved that the witnesses were legitimate witnesses, and now maybe the witnesses became charata. What happens now? They know they have to do skillah to this guy. They have to stone this guy. So the two witnesses, one witness remembered, I remember this guy donated $1 million to High Lifeline. You don't know how much people were saved from High Lifeline. And then the guy is going to start building a whole story. We should have mercy on him, ignore him, because first of all, he's breaking halakha. Okay, he's breaking halakha. He's not allowed to say those words. Not allowed to point out of this masit, of this evil person who is misleading the whole nation to go against Hashem and telling him to bow down to other idol worship. And now all of a sudden you start remembering, look at the nations that he made here and the nations that he made then. He saved this person, he saved that person. Chas v'shalom, you're not allowed to point out anything. You think it's a joke? What are we talking about? I see it every day. Every day. Here today, today's generation we have people going to China, India, Shbudu, and they bring idols into their houses. They don't even think it's a big deal. Big deal. I know my friend. Somebody says my friend has this fat belly statue in his house, and look at this. Baruch Hashem, he has $10 million and he has $500,000 just in one car. He gets loaded, right? So now a person might say, look, or very famous in our community, the Indian, what's his name? I don't want to say all those chachka names, and unfortunately, and people think they're worth something. Chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. Don't tell me the guy did tzedakah and now we have to forgive him. Stay away from him. Look at this one more time. We're going to repeat it and we're going to end with this. 457. You're not allowed to love anybody who is guiding Jewish people to go against Hashem. 458. We are not allowed to abandon hatred toward that person. 459. We're not allowed to save him if he's drowning or anything. Not allowed to save his life. Mitzvah 460. You're not allowed to say anything good about his deeds or his past actions. This kind of person. 461. You're not allowed to be quiet. In the Beit Din, you're supposed to say all the evil things that this person did. And 461. We're not allowed to be one of those people that are going to tell people to go against Hashem. Chas v'shalom. Repeat the mitzvot 5 times. Have a wonderful day.